Yes, but K Reno is dope. K Reno is now officially out of MC Olympics, and it makes me sad. But now we got my second pick, which is CANIBUS. This is me and Lady Poetic's favorite artist. This is a new album, Kaiju. Kaiju came in, 2020? 2021?
Mm-hmm.
Somewhere like that. So this is pretty new CANIBUS. It's relevant, and let me just change the banner so I can have that going across there. We got CANIBUS versus INSPECTAH. Okay. This is a heavy combination of which I am severely conflicted. I don't know what INSPECTAH song you got coming up, but it better be fucking fire. Because COVID Santa is insane. Wait till you hear this. You know this one, Lady Poetic?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, good. All right, let's get into
Great
COVID Santa
album.
by CANIBUS. Let's do it. Yeah, great album. I got it somewhere here.
Yeah, I got the vinyl. It's dope.
Oh, you got the vinyl. I just got the CD.
Got that too.
The scenery starts off with a slow pan from a drone cam and a drone operator with cold hands. A body bag bend beat bumps. A chime from a grandfather clock made of pine wood with walnut studs. A pearly red unfinished sleigh bed of carbon fiber. One can only guess to fly higher and faster from being lighter. Pieces of liquor bottle shards crunch the top squeaky floorboards. Screens on walls flashing on and off. Weather report. Killington, Vermont, Whistler, Snow King Resort. Black Diamond conditions. Travel restricted and closed off. A shipment of hummingbird broth was lost because he couldn't get across. Mrs. Claus had a psychotic blow-off, and that's why we were called. But now that we are here, we are seeing things are much more deeper than we thought. The whole compound was a pigsty, black mold in the carpet, moldy half-eaten cookies, milk rotting in cartons. The elves moved all the factory equipment out of the way. Twice a week they throw rays, Nora and pure DJs. Mrs. Claus doesn't know what to do. She just stays in her room. They say she has a fentanyl problem too. Okay, Miss Claus is the spouse. For now we can rule her out. But we need to find the man of the house. They say he's in bad shape. Just look at the landscape. I don't care if it's man-made or not, it's a damn shame. Mrs. Claus stopped payment. The goods department ran out of patience. The elves are working for terrorist organizations. Rudolph's nose is sick. He can't walk for shit. He's certified fit for service, but he's got bone cysts. Dancing and prancing have capped hocks and fluid blocks. We're wondering what Santa's gonna do when the music stops. In our first conversation, we asked Miss Claus about her GPS ankle bracelet. She remained complacent. We asked Miss Claus, can you please take us to Santa? She looked over at one of the elves, wouldn't give us an answer. Now this elf was whistling Amazing Grace and didn't say much. Looked like he had a pistol tucked, straight thug. He said he was a player in the global human settlement layer, and he accepted revenue from Lord Maitreya. Another elf said, we'll take you to Santa, but we need your passport, phone, radio, and your helmet camera. I complied, gave them all four without blinking an eye. They opened the door, took me outside. We walked down range to a Buckminster Fuller building type frame with a door that had a kryptonite chain. I almost couldn't believe I heard the whirling sound of a machine you would use to help somebody breathe. At first I see bare feet, the EKG beat. I move closer, then I see rosacea in both cheeks. I see tubes carrying red blood out of two-man boobs through a machine that back into a hand turned blue. I was so confused, I turned around to the elves and said, what in Satan's name have you done to yourselves? One of the elves stepped forward. He said, this is hard to ignore, but I owe you an explanation. I'm not a doctor, but I'm not an imposter. I'm a medical proctor, and I don't think he's got much longer. You see, lactic acid is green, uric acid is orange, sulfuric acid is yellow, but Santa's is much darker. His citric acid is clear. I know that I'm a fast talker, but he's gonna die without the proper anatomic markers. His interstitial fluids have been mixing with unknown biopollutants, turning him into some kind of mutant. In other words, technically Santa's entire genomic integrity's in great jeopardy's what he said to me. And he's been treated for the latest strain. He's positive, non-homologous. We contacted Dr. Oculus. Our last communicate placed him at 2 hours away, but I should warn you, if he's not here, we have to operate. Operate how? Here? sure there's rat shit everywhere. This is a fucking sanitary nightmare. Good idea, glad you're in charge. You're doing a great job. Look at him. Don't you think Santa looks a bit gone? Antibody dependent enhancement. What are Santa's chances? Don't they make a ozonated cream for cancer? You little shit. You be using my phone to look at dick pics. When I was your age, I used to work at the big dig. Fluorescent illuminated x-rays, polyethylene death sprays from a nuclear submarine's wet bed. You were pathogenically primed for prime time. The meter says 9, 9, 9, 9. And now Christmas is fucked. I hope you're satisfied. What you gonna do now Santa done died?
Oh, fucking COVID, man. I gotta watch what I say because we'll get fucking banned again for talking about shit like that. Can't say anything about it. But fucking the powers that be. I consider this song. I should have chose this for the Christmas special, by the way. Like,
I know, I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
why didn't I choose it for the Christmas special? It would have been fucking perfect. But he's also presenting. It's a metaphor, dude. It's a double. The entire song is a double entendre for the structures of power and how they handled the burden with which they were granted. Like, they did not handle it well, and the world got fucked because of it. Like, you know, I mean, what are you going to do? It's hard to deal with these things. I understand. It's a complicated system. But what do you do when the top dog is fucked up? You know, how do you get to the top dog? That was like a movie, dude. It was like a screenplay. Storytelling 11. You know, like storytelling. It didn't even feel like he was rhyming. It just felt like he was telling a story. You know, he was just telling a Christmas story. It was like Christmas story time with CANIBUS. I fucking love it. I mean, delivery. I mean, I followed the story intensely the entire time. Technicality, pretty hard to make a song about Santa being so sick that he dies from COVID. I mean, come on. Wordplay 10, storytelling 11, production. Actually, you know what? This happens to me a lot. I've thought about this a lot in my life when listening to CANIBUS. I didn't even hear the beat. Didn't even listen to it. Was so zoned in his lyrics that I don't even know what the beat sounded like. I forget what it sounded like. I remember what his voice sounded like. That's what CANIBUS does to me. He fucking knocks me out of the world. He knocks me out of reality for temporarily. It's like meditation, dude. It's like subconscious. It's great. I just am so into his tone. Gonna give that a 10, of course. A 10. Ignacio, what are you saying?
Okay, so this has the opposite effect for me that K Reno did. So normally I'm not a big fan of CANIBUS's just ultimate barrage, and like when he gets so intense with it, his voice is, you know, that high pitch, that high tone that we were talking about and things, yep. Right? So this one was much more subdued. It was conceptual, you know what I mean? Went down through a journey, right? I think I prefer him the other way if I'm listening to some CANIBUS. I don't think this was cool for what it was. Creative. Can't deny the man's pen, like I've told you. I'm starting to learn more and more about just the way he structures rhymes and things like that. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But it was cool for what it was. And yeah. I'm gonna give it a 7.75.
7.75. Chuck, what are you saying?
So the delivery for me, I think, didn't really hit. Because for me, it was much more of like a spoken word poetry delivery than
yeah, it was
with music behind it. Then
well said,
kind of like a musical track. Because he had his rhyming and cadence, but it wasn't kind of like flowing to the beat. And the beat was definitely setting this overall tone and environment to it. And there was definitely, like, obviously, lots of complex storytelling there, metaphors, wordplay, regardless of what you care or think about messaging, if you're just looking at, the track itself. But I think because of that, like, the delivery wise didn't really didn't really mesh for me, because of that more just kind of spoken word poetry delivery. And so that's going to, but because the other aspects were really strong though. So I'm going to give that an 8. It's not something I think I particularly care for. I probably wouldn't put it on my playlist and listen to, but just looking at it objectively, I'll give it an 8.
Solid 8. Lady Poetic, what are you saying?
Sure. Let me gather my thoughts for a second. This was a 10. This was great. It was excellent. No, it really, really was. I mean,
I know it is.
the way this was so mentally stimulating. It was
I know.
so perfect.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
perfect. It was
No,
perfect.
it's good. I mean, this is a tournament winner right here. I'm game over. So
Well, it's not looking good in the vote right now, I'll tell you what, but who knows what INSPECTAH's going to bring.
no, it was so clever and dark, and yeah, it was just really fantastic.
Yeah, I love it too, but you know what? Not everyone does, and that's something CANIBUS has dealt with his whole life. But you know what? He's got the guys who wrote for him, and that's who he makes music for. Like, he doesn't make music for Chuck and Ignacio. He makes music for Wilkshake and Lady Poetic. That's all he cares about.
I believe back in the Reaction Radio days, I've actually sent in a few CANIBUS tracks.
Ooh,
I believe you have. This is correct. I believe he is speaking facts here.
So don't.
Unfortunately, guys, I get a vote, but it's still.
You're not putting me in a box.
I was hoping that was where to end it. By put you in the box and close the lid and just move on.
I've got maybe a box, but I've got rounded corners.
Yeah, rounded corners. Unfortunately, that is not going in the playlist. Unfortunately, we have some disagreements in the chat, but that is how the show goes. I can't change a thing. This is a real show, real time, real people, real views, real hip hop. Next up we got, guys, is CANIBUS's opponent. It is INSPECTAH, and this one is called Hyperdermics. Let's get into it.
Yeah. The bare facts make them take flight like Air Max. Hypodermic rap, share it and you both have tracks. Dope man supply fire to wax. Push your wigs back, hit you like a tall cat, make you relapse. Never before have you ever heard this level of raw. My metaphors touch down like the hammer of Thor. Knee deep into the war, sirens and gats roar. Living like raging bull, life's the matador. I soar above the law, branded illegal. They still rush my door, cause I'm power to the people. Sharp as an eagle claw, certified lethal. Keanu Reeves can't match the speed I exceed to. Crash the party, make them jump like Knievel. I take cash in advance and blast off on retrieval. Won't, don't stop, rockin' to the rhythm, dropping wisdom for my niggas locked in prison. For those in the streets, rock it in your system. Once resting in peace, in my heart you're living. Representing all those who ain't got a pot to piss in. Went from small timer to a top position. I'm not kidding, so what? Radio's not mixing. While shots slicking, niggas on my block listen to the uncontrolled, mentally hold you POW. Coming through, up to no good, ain't no love for you chameleons. Play the wrong side of the fence, switching like Clark Kent when the drama commence. Ladies and gents, my poetry's beyond intense. Find me in the trench while you hold your spot on the bench. Best invest in me, favored heavily. INS address me as your excellency. Successfully defending my belt with first rounders, where close friends get treated the same as out of towners.
You know, this album is fucking awesome. I love it. I did it on Woo Wars.
Yeah. Jurassic in size, I rise above the norm. Urban icon, riding on the eye of the storm. Better informed, spaz like memories of norm. Ducking bombs on the rendezvous with Miss Saigon. Calm assassin, showing my face so they can know. When on Beat Street, I paint a picture like Ramo. On the lay low, making dough, aiming to blow. Got a way to go, so I'm just taking it slow. From the shower borough, throwing the thoroughbred flow. Echoing from the ghetto, throughout the metro. About to let it go, give me some room to elbow. Watch bitches stick to a nigga like Velcro. Yo, the plan is to grab what I can within my reach. Expand like the crystal white sands that fill a beast. With my hand on the piece, One eye is on the beast. Through the rhyme I teach history class and move the mass. Can't, won't, don't stop, rockin' to the rhythm, dropping wisdom for my niggas locked in prison. For those in the streets, rockin' in your system. One's resting in peace, in my heart you're living. I can't, won't, don't stop, rockin' to the rhythm, dropping wisdom for my niggas locked in prison. For those in the streets, rockin' in your system. One's resting in peace, in my heart you're living.
I mean, it would be nice to hear something in the choruses rather than just the beat ride out. Like, why not put some bars there, dude? Like, I like the song. Don't get me wrong. I love this album. Uncontrolled Substance, fantastic album. INSPECTAH's first like woo style album, and like under RZA making the beats. You know, first RZA orchestrated album. Fantastic tune. I mean, it's a solid 9.5, but against COVID Santa by Santa, CANIBUS is not even in the same league as far as I'm concerned. But I will say, like, delivery, while he wasn't just waiting for the beat to end to start a second verse, like, I wish there would have been some scratching elements, verses, a chorus, anything would have been good in there. I'm looking for reasons.
And there was scratching.
There was, yeah.
Yeah, not there wasn't enough.
It wasn't CANIBUS.
Yeah, it wasn't just because it wasn't CANIBUS.
Delivery was bang on. Technicality was bang on. Wordplay was bang on. Storytelling, he was mixing kind of like some like hometown hero vibes with flex bars, like kind of like fundamental historical, like where I came from to what I'm doing now. That was a theme amongst the whole track. Production's where they got CANIBUS. Production is like CANIBUS's beat, because I didn't listen to it, so it obviously wasn't too impactful. I didn't even notice it. I just got swarmed by CANIBUS lyrics and forgot to listen to it. Didn't even realize it was playing. And for that reason, but that beat was sick. I mean, Riz is a genius. But I'm still going CANIBUS. I'm going to give this song a 9.2 though. Like, it's a fire. The whole album's fire. I recommend you listen to it. I think I gave it a 9.2 the last time I listened to it too, if I remember correctly. But I probably don't. But INSPECTAH, Hypodermics 9.2. Ignacio, what do you say?
This is a much more well-rounded track. There was the beat kept you engaged, as well as the flow and the cadence in which he delivered some pretty dope metaphorical lyrics, to be honest with you, if you really paid attention.
With no chorus.
There was still the scratching in there. It may not have been as much as you wanted, but the element was there, and it was just enough that you're just being biased. On any other day, this would be like easy a 9.5 to 9.8 for you, easy.
Yep.
On any other day.
It is. I'll give it a 9.8. Sure, it's a 9.8.
But it's not any other day.
Right. So not any other day. Right.
It's just up against the one it's bracketed with.
Right. Not only that, it's the Emcee that I put into the tournament. So of course
you son of a bitch. You son of a bitch.
So to add a little bit of that to it, I'm gonna be real, man. Deck murdered the shit out of this one, bro.
Okay. All right. What are you giving it?
This is a 9.5.
9.5. Chuck, what do you say?
So I think I'm gonna probably put this at a 9. I definitely I'm gonna agree that just like musically, it was more well-rounded as a track. Didn't have the same kind of hard aggression, but the storytelling aspect was nice. Definitely were some a lot of metaphors and wordplay in there. A lot of the wordplay was maybe forgive the expression, I'm going to say trite, maybe obvious. Right. For some of it, and but it was there nonetheless. It was very different, but I do think it was just more well-rounded. So I think this is probably going to be. I'm gonna say 8.5. So
8.5.
yeah.
Lady Poetic, what are you saying?
So this track that we just listened to, it had all of the elements of a classic hip hop track. You know, the production was fantastic. The lyricism was excellent. The rhyming was great. It ticked all the boxes, you know, but it's just comparing it to a completely different beast. You know what I mean? Just two very different vibes between the two tracks. I'm trying to be as unbiased as I can.
You can't. Don't
It's
be.
not going to work.
Be as biased as you can. Be as biased as you can.
Okay, well, check this out. I go into a hypothetical fine restaurant and I sit down and I order a classic 3-course meal, the most expensive thing on the menu with the price shown, and they bring me this Inspectah deck track. It's excellent. It's perfect. Then I order CANIBUS and it's from a different menu and it's market price. But it might not be for everybody. You know what I mean? But it's just a different tier, a different level.
Yeah,
I can't afford market price.
Yeah, that's why this is a hypothetical restaurant.
I know.
We're not going up in here.
I'm messing with you, man.
I own a restaurant. Maybe I should say. Well, I own a restaurant.
The CANIBUS burger, market price. No, I would still go with this between the two. And I would give this track a solid 9.
Solid 9. Well, they have giving it a 96% or 86%. It's going on the playlist for sure. Now you have 16 bars to vote, you motherfuckers.
Wait, you just did that vote.
Did what
it says
vote?
CANIBUS. It says CANIBUS and deck, and it's 100% deck.
Well, right now the vote hasn't ended yet.
Okay.
The vote is just starting. I gave it an extra 30 seconds.
I mean, okay.
What if there's some people watching that are doing something right now?
Yeah,
Right.
And they don't have time because they listened to CANIBUS and heard Inspectah deck and just went and did the laundry. You know, that's probably what happened. They're doing laundry right now. They're doing laundry right now. Yeah.
That's what's happening.
How is it 100% deck?
Well, I think Lady Poetic probably hasn't voted.
Where do you vote?
Does the vote say BIS on it?
Yeah.
CANIBUS.
Where's Lethal? Where are you guys? Where are my people? Oh, that's brutal. That's brutal.
Goodness. I don't know.
Fucking hate this show.
Whose idea was this?
Who did this to me? Why did this happen? Okay, guys. Well, it's official. Inspectah deck has decked CANIBUS. Unfortunately, we don't got as many CANIBUS fans as there are.
Oh, Clarissa, nice. CANIBUS got decked.
I know. I even just used it. But you know what? It is what it is. This is Emcee Olympics. I have no control over what you guys want to hear, and I'm not offended either. I'm open. You know what? I kind of like that people don't like CANIBUS because it's like more for me. Good. I get more. You get less. I get more.
There you go. There you go.
I do not dislike CANIBUS in general. I'm maybe more selective about the things of his that I do like.
Yeah.
Very fair.
Well, now we got Rakim, and that is from Lady Poetic.
Cheers.
So let's take it back. Let's say, is this an older Rakim tune?
Yeah, this one.
Yeah, this is from the seventh
seal, right?
Seventh seal, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's do it. Against MF Doom.
Ghetto kids test the devil to hit the next level. Wish they was the rebel with several medals and flex the bezel with the pedal to the metal. In the dog's paradise, where love have a price. So we love for life like dogs love the night. They sell drugs for ice for the Benz with the bug lights. Some hog mics to the world hog like parasites. But life's lethal, it might mislead you. A sneak preview, watch what we do and what the hood teach you. I still see through the eye of a needle, so I can watch people because love backwards is evil. Yo, what's this? Yo, bust this. Yo, it's time to uplift. They think all we do is bust clips and pump flips and plush whips and clutch chips and touch chips. Blowing rocks like Fort Knox and horn blocks. Torn cops with more props than we want not. Panhandling with your mans and them. Scrambling, gambling, plans to win while the cops clock 'em. Beans block 'em.